Welcome to Roots in Lowell, the Mill City Girls podcast. So, in this episode, the whole idea was to really hear from different Mill City Girls staff members and their perspectives on food justice. So, the original idea really was to talk about the general lingo that we use in our work. Sometimes it's like words that we really use within ourselves, but when we talk to them or like we mention them or say them in public, like the general public really doesn't really understand what we mean by those things. But actually, during the first question that I was doing this, you can hear that there's like a bigger transition into like more like what is food justice and like a very big perspective in food justice. And that's when like I was like, okay, like I think we really need to be talking about food justice in this podcast and hear the perspective from everyone and how their work here at Mill City Girls kind of relates and they actually help uh, our work towards food justice, not necessarily like in an enhanced like I'm at the garden level, but also like at a, you know, like institutional level, really. So these are five different perspectives on food justice. We start with Trang, our community garden manager. Then we talk with Matt, our farm manager, Rebecca, our institutional giving manager, James, who manages the CSA, and Daphnne, who is our education program manager. So these also were done in like completely different days. So if you can hear different ways that sound kind of like changes a little bit, it's just because of that. We were like kind of in different settings and different times of the day. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know it wasn't really like a straightforward conversation. But yeah, really hope you enjoy listening to this as much as I actually enjoy doing this. So the first thing I'm gonna ask you,
Mhm.
what is your name and what is your role here at MCG?
My name is Trang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a community garden manager.
Uh huh.
I just started with MCG like a little bit over a year,
Okay. All
and
right.
I'm
This is
pretty
awesome.
new to Low. I
What's
moved here
Yeah? How long you been here,
like
Lo?
2 year and a half.
2 years and a half.
Yeah,
All right.
even less than a half.
Okay.
Really over 2 year.
All right. All right.
Mm.
So that's awesome that you like live here and you also work here. I'm like that too. I live here in Lowell too. I live here in Lowell.
Oh.
All right. So what is a food system when we like talk about food systems?
Mm. Okay, food system. All
Yeah.
right. Now, I have to talk a little bit about my background because I'm from Vietnam
Mm-hmm.
original, and in Vietnam, people don't talk about food system.
Okay.
Food is like it's just so basic. It's like you go to the farmer market in the morning, you get your food for your day, and they go several farmer market throughout the day, and it's just something, or maybe there's something it's just so normal. It's just so basic. It just people might take it for granted. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you never had to worry. Uh, Not about worry, but like you never. Well, you know that it comes from the farm, and from the farmer bring it to the city, and then
Yeah.
you get the food, and that's all. And you see farmland everywhere in Vietnam, and it's just how it is. But I think after I moved here, and when I'm slowly interested in sustainability,
Mm-hmm.
that one, and more into composting, and then urban farming, and then the more into this topic, I realized, wow, is this the food system in the
Yeah.
United States, and what is this about? And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
um, and its own. I was really surprised when my first jobs back then in New York City that I was teaching kids in the garden about where the vegetable come from, where the tomato come from, and most of them can't even uh, make the difference between pickle and cucumber. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how can that even possible, kids? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like what?
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
And it's just from such a tiny that detail. I realized that. So you don't really know exactly what you are eating then,
Uh huh.
and uh, then I will. That is such a disconnected between what you eat on the table and where this coming from, and why that even happen? And I realized, yes, so it's a huge system in the United States that make people to slowly disconnected from the food that they like is one of the basic need
Mm-hmm.
for everyone that they don't even know where this even come from.
Mm.
And after several years, when I'm being this field for a little bit, I learned a little bit more that the food system kind of very messy, complicated here in the U.S. and very corrupt and also twisted. Everyone have very different definition about this,
Yes.
depending where you're standing.
Yeah, that is true.
Um, because it's super corrupted. Like most of farm in the United States is located in the area that people are not likely go to visit, or you can't really see this, and everything shipping and in a container and then delivered to the supermarket. The supermarket owner might not even know exactly how it being shipped or being packaged and
Who did
how
it?
it been handling and who the farmer and how they treat the farmer, the farm.
Exactly.
And all of this like missing link and the gap in between it. It's just too much that nobody really like. Oh, I'm tired. I don't want to talk about it. It's too complicated to talk about it.
So actually, that kind of like segues into
Yeah.
the next thing. So like you're saying, like the how this food system is like all these different things aspect from like you getting the food to like who's giving you the food, how it gets there, you know, and all the little things in between, including educating people, like they not even necessarily educating people, but the, like people's knowledge on where that's coming from, who's getting treated whichever way, and you know, we here at Mill City Grows, we talk a lot about food justice.
Right.
What would you define that? What is your personal definition of food justice?
Yeah. Yes, justice can be a really big word. And can be like, people might feel a little bit intimidated, a little bit, but oh, justice. There's no such thing as justice in this country. This country is not justice. Like, it's with certain people, they will think it that way because the way they being treated, the way the society, how they try to fit in. It's just well, that David touched to a lot of different topics,
Yeah.
But here we talk about food. I'm talking to people that I work directly with, that in the garden, or sometimes we have the visit from different organizations. That's like when they talking about the food system in Lowell. ACA Food Justice is one of the things that's at least first thing you should know is what is in season. We live here in Massachusetts. It have a very, very special type of climate that what is in this kind of climate, in this kind of my local climate, what kind of thing it can produce here?
Yeah.
And then compare it, okay, so but what can I see in the supermarket? I can see banana. Of course, banana is not from here, but well, I'm still want to eat banana for sure, but teach myself, okay, where the banana coming from? And to give that, like, take notes in my head. And from observing on the food available here in the market, in the farmer market versus in the supermarket, and notice that the diverse of my community is there's so like I'm from a very different background. There's certain food I'm eating that is not likely that you eating.
Yeah, even us too.
Yes, exactly. And noticing, oh, there's a lot of things that I can't even find them in the supermarket at all that related to my control.
Mm-hmm.
Even in farmer market, sometimes maybe, but it's not always likely. Um, but how can I, how can I put it? It's like a equity, like
Mm-hmm.
people moving here. Well, United States, like a
Anywhere. I
melting
mean, but I
pot.
think
Like,
anywhere,
wait,
right?
right. Uh, food, yeah, like we said, food is the basic need. But I can't. What I gonna do if I can't even meet my basic need? Like I need to make something that I feel related.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't even find it here.
Yeah.
For me, it's a part of the food justice.
Yeah.
That is control, but if we look into a different aspect, like, okay, financially, can I even like afford to buy fresh vegetable, fresh food
Mm-hmm.
at all? Is that price is fair? Is that price is transparent?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I really knowing what I'm paying for with my hard-earned money?
Yeah.
Like, and with my hard-earned money, I have to buy thing that is not related to me, but is related to someone else control. But because it's so common here, and I need to eat, so that's why I had to spend my hard-earned money into something that's not quite related to me, doesn't speak up to me, but
Yeah.
I need to eat.
Exactly.
How I can feel related, like connected to my community that I want to serve, but my basic need not. I can meet my basic need when I'm living here.
Okay.
It's might be a little bit different perspective about food justice.
Yeah. No. That's totally valid, though. But I mean, yeah. That's exactly what we're doing this episode. It's kind of like we all have very different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
But we're here for the same thing, right? So it's totally valid.
Yeah, and also, since we talk about food system early on,
Mm-hmm.
is also what I realized that most people, and even me, that underestimated how hard the farmer had to work
Yeah.
to provide to grow the food that we're eating. It's really hard, like out of sight, out of mind. You don't see it, you not on the field, you don't see how hard it is for them.
Yeah.
And there is so many things in between that the farmer, they work so hard, but then they earn so much less compared to what they have put out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because most of the money is put into the middleman.
Yeah.
And who have to suffering from that cost is either the consumer or the farmer. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Like in the question of the matter of like what you're like saying, not like all the injustices in there. That's not what I meant by that. Sorry, but thank you. That's like really insightful. That's kind of what I meant to say. Very insightful, and like thank you for that perspective too, right? Because even though sometimes like us working in here, right, like you sometimes even tend to forget that, right? A little bit. It's not like we're like ignoring it, because this is actually what we're working for, to like actually eliminate some of these things. But sometimes you just kind of, just so involved in it, and sometimes you don't think about a lot of these things.
Yeah.
But thank you.
This is my first year at MCG. I started in February.
And what's your name?
My name is Matt.
All right.
That might be important.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just so many ways you can answer that question.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many things that I feel like you want to contribute to towards the community. And as a farmer, like, I've been drawn to this profession for the past 8 seasons.
Yeah. 8.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked at 5 different farms over the past 8 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, and then a couple of those places were I stayed the next season to do two seasons in a row.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I was just giving this question some thought about like what your role is as a farmer towards the food justice movement.
And food justice in general, like,
yeah.
I know it's like a movement, but like it's also like.
Yeah, sure. In general. Yeah, I mean, like, you want more than anything for farmers to be able to, like, to be able to make a living. And it's just super tough for people to do that who really have a real passion for it, and they want to, like, they want to do the nitty gritty hands-on work. And like, that's something that I mean, that aspect of it is something that I'm really drawn to.
Yeah.
But like, I really wish that, yeah, this isn't as related to MCG, but like that farmers could just have more of a chance, to be able to make a living, and that it would just be more of an attractive, like, job situation for more people to get into it. Because there's so few farmers right now that are really, like, trying to pursue the profession.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 2%.
Like older farmers for the most part, correct?
And there's the older generation right now. So yeah, that's like a long-term kind of like wish that I'd love to see, that you'd love to see more of. Yeah. So yeah, food justice, it's like I'd love to see kids more, like, educated. Like, growing up for me, I didn't have like any education in the classroom around food systems, where your food comes from, like, nothing. Elementary up through high school. So, like, that aspect of of what we're tackling here at MCG, it's really an amazing story what Francie and Lydia started 8 years ago and changing the community in Lowell. So
yeah. Rebecca, who are you here in Mill City Grows? Or, I mean, rather, your role. I mean, I know who you are. And how do you see your role in the food justice movement in general?
Okay. Hi, I'm Rebecca Ledvino. First and foremost, I'm Enrique's office mate, and I get to share an office with him, which is fun. And at Mill City Grows, my title is Institutional Giving Manager. So, Institutional Giving Manager. What does that mean? Really, like, on the logical side, it means like writing grants and applying for funding opportunities from all kinds of places, because luckily there are folks out there who have money to give away, and they decide, whether they want it to be for food justice, health equity, community building, and those are all things that Mill City Grows is doing through their food justice work. But what that really means is I get to learn all about the good work that everyone's doing at Mill City Grows and try to capture that in a succinct way to let folks know quickly and easily who we are and what we do and what impact we're having on the food system in Lowell.
I like how you use the word succinct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am not succinct. It's something I'm working on, but it's a skill I have to build as a grant writer.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, yeah, is there anything else?
Is there anything else? I don't know. I just love Mill City Grows.
All right.
And I love nature, so it's really been fun coming and working here and, like, learning a little bit more about how the food is grown and what kinds of, like, conditions we need and what the farm team does to, like, get all that stuff up and then out through, like, the mobile markets. I've loved working in the mobile markets. It's been really fun to, like, meet customers out in the community and see them get so excited about the vegetables they're eating. That's, like, something I want to get out and do as much as I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So food justice and food sovereignty. Well, I don't know. The whole thing to me really...
So looking through what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, well, when I think about it, I think about food access. And that's really what my job is all about, is getting people who are in need of local, healthy food access to that food. So with the delivery service, we literally deliver it straight to your door. In the winter, once every other week, and in the summer, usually weekly. So it's people who can't get to the market, can't get out to grocery stores, don't have access, don't have transportation, are disabled, chronic health conditions, or some people who work and they just don't have access to, getting things during the day.
Yeah,
and
the time either,
right, or the time. So then so it's being able to deliver that straight to their door. And it's all sorts of food. It's not just, it's increasing their knowledge about what grows here in New England and Massachusetts. And and also, we do recipes. So if they don't know how to cook something, like if we have something like sunchokes, not a lot of people know about sunchokes. So I
don't even know how to cook them. I don't think I've ever had a sunchoke, if I tell you the truth.
Yeah, so I put a recipe that's like a smashed sunchoke that has thyme, and it's roasted kind of like a potato.
Nice.
Yeah, so I put, so if it's something like that, or last time I did bok choy, not everyone knows how to cook bok choy. It's actually pretty simple. But I'll highlight a recipe with there so that they know what to do with it.
Awesome.
But I think it's giving people access is kind of how I think about, making sure there's, food justice and sovereignty, and, that we're growing and we're supporting the farmers around us, and, the land that we're farming here, and we're getting it to people.
I'm Daphnne. I'm from the education team at Mill City Grows. I spend a lot of my time in the school gardens. And food sovereignty in the garden, I think, is showing kids where their food comes from. So filling the school garden with different kinds of tomatoes, green ones, red ones, purple ones, different peppers, and then also planting things that they can pick and eat right in the garden. So they can pick a piece of kale, try it right in the garden. They can pick a piece of spinach, put it right in their mouth, and learning if they like it, if they don't. And then also talking about, well, maybe raw kale isn't your favorite. What can we do with raw kale? Maybe we can put it in a smoothie. I like to put it in my grilled cheese. We made kale chips last week. Yeah, we made kale chips. These kids went nuts for them. I should have made double the amount because they were gone.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
And so outside of that, so how do you usually see your personal role? This is what you're saying about what is, how do you achieve food justice through your work?
I think a lot of it comes from experience. I think when you spend a lot of time in the food world, you're lucky to learn a lot of things from trial and error, from meeting cool people doing this work too, and then sharing that with others. So sharing recipes, sharing ways to grow plants. Like, my tomatoes didn't do so well last year. What can I do differently this year? I think that really, sharing that information really just opens up the world and helps others.
Awesome. Anything else you would like to add?
School gardens for life.
All right. I like that.